This is Bronc News, your source for all things Hamilton School District. Broadcast from Hamilton High School, bringing you the latest district news and Bronc sports. We are Hamilton School District. We know Bronc News.
Welcome to the first broadcast of Bronc News. I'm Max Nadel.
And I'm Taryn Searle.
We would like to kick off the broadcast with some teacher features, highlighting some of the high school's hard-working staff.
First, we want to introduce you to someone many of you may be familiar with. He has a rich history with Hamilton School District as a principal and teacher. Mr.
Kimsey is powered by the drive to educate his students and prepare them for their future.
My name is Dan Kimsey. This is my 26th year teaching. I come from Dillon, Montana. I started as a history teacher in 1997, and I actually started teaching in Grand Forks, North Dakota. I like almost everything outside. I love hiking and snowshoeing and fishing and anything with water. Initially was going to be an English teacher, and then I had this awesome professor in my first semester that was a history professor that he was so great. It's like right then I decided that's what I would do. Dale Tash was his name. He probably died 10 years ago or so. He knew everything, and he was from that ranch family that settled in Bannock in the 1870s. And my dad was an educator. He was the superintendent most of my life. Me and my family, it really seemed like went into education, and that's what we did. So I knew that no matter what I did, probably there'd be something like that in the back, and it's at some point. I've liked all this everywhere I've worked. Obviously I like the kids better than the adults. I was fishing with a friend last night after work, and I was just thinking about, talking about some of the stories from over the years, and man, what a cool, after 25 years, there's some really great experiences that you had, and some weird stuff, and some fun stuff, and some sad stuff, but a lot of good kid stuff. And I don't know if I'm a great teacher, but I think I'm enthusiastic about it. I suppose that's an attribute. I enjoy it. I think I believe with all my heart that public education in our country is the great equalizer.
We hope that Mr. Kimsey continues to teach at Hamilton High School and inspire many more students along the way.
Next up is another familiar face who went from teacher to principal and then back to teacher. Let's catch up with Mr. Wells.
There's a lot of amazing teachers at Hamilton High School, but one stands out as having an interesting background as well as a caring personality. They have also worked in the education field for 13 years at this point.
My name is Ryan Wells. I'm an English teacher here at the high school. I teach 10th and 12th grade English.
He has always been a mentor to students, encouraging them to take responsibility and to take others' perspectives into consideration.
Kids make mistakes, and we try to help them learn from them. I think we all make mistakes. The most challenging is when kids and parents are unwilling to take responsibility or for bad behaviors.
His favorite book to teach students is To Kill a Mockingbird. This ties into his strong ideals and expectations for responsibility and understanding.
First of all, it's just a great story, and second, I think it teaches some great lessons about life and perspective and kind of how to balance, looking at things from your own personal lens, but also trying to understand the way other people are looking at things.
He talks about some of the challenges and hardships that come along with being the principal.
It's just a really demanding schedule. There's a lot of things happening in a high school, and you are participating in everything.
This year, he decided to take a step back and return to his roots as an English teacher in order to spend more time with his growing family and pursue his original passion.
I'm excited to be back in the classroom, working with kids and having conversations with students. The seniors, we have a really fun time, I think, in class, and the sophomores I'm getting to know them really well too. And I just think that being in the classroom and spending your day with kids and having discussions and learning together is a pretty good way to spend your time.
Many of us agree. While we loved having Mr. Wells as a principal, it's great to have him as our teacher.
It's not just about teachers, it's also about staff. So let's not forget the one who keeps Hamilton High School shining, which is definitely not an easy job.
Someone took a pear or a peach and smashed it on the wall in the downstairs boys' bathroom. There's peach everywhere. So, yeah, it's a common thing.
Out of all of the staff at HHS, few are as hardworking as the janitors. To talk about the work the janitors put into the school, we interviewed the head janitor, Chance. He gave us both some useful insight to his life, both professional and personal.
My name is Chance Wolf. I'm 27, and I've been employed here for close to 2 years now, give or take. I forget the exact date I started. I started as a night custodian, and then got promoted to head custodian. So.
The job of a custodian is often underappreciated. Many people think it's just busy work. However, there are lots of tasks that go into it.
I think it's mostly, just making sure that the trash around the building is picked up. You'd be surprised, it's kind of a sad thing, but you'd be surprised how often kids throw stuff on the floor and crumbs are all over the place. And I mean, it's not a big deal, it just happens from day to day. But, it's mostly stuff like that, sweeping, a lot of mopping. And then also, I guess it really depends on the day, like if we have sporting events or if we have any kind of events in the building, I'm doing a lot of setup for chairs. And, a big part of my day is tearing down the lunchroom as well. There's a lot of tables in there to clean and a lot of chairs to stack, so...
Even though it's not all exactly heart-racing work, some tasks can be a bit unsettling. Every custodian has to deal with their fair share of messes. As you might imagine, this is doubly true at HHS.
I think the worst one so far was the black paint that was spilled this year there's some girls painting a float in the CAD room, and they spilled black paint on the tile floor. That one was the scariest because it's black paint.
Yeah.
The grossest one was last year after prom. I discovered someone had thrown up in one of the urinals. And so it's not like you can flush that. So yeah, you gotta scoop that out and you gotta put it in the garbage can. It's not my favorite. I can deal with most bodily fluids, but not vomit. That's my least favorite one is vomit. So
That kind of work isn't for everyone. But if you are interested in this kind of work, there are a few requirements.
you do have to take a work physical to get the job, and it's mostly just making sure that you're capable of picking up 50 pounds the correct way, lifting with your legs, not your back. They test you on leaning over tables and wide bend. Of course, I have things now that allow me to not have to bend over tables. It saves my back a lot, but it's just stuff like that. And, the other thing that, it depends on where you work. As a head custodian during the daytime, you have to be okay with people. You have to be able to talk and be open. You can't be a shy person because there's just too many people around here asking questions and asking things of you.
Despite what some may think, school staff are allowed to leave the school. During the time that he's left, Chance has a few hobbies he likes to partake in.
Video games. Play a lot of video games. I got an Xbox Series X at home, and I play a lot of games. I play Fortnite all the time. I have Modern Warfare 2 pre-ordered. I'm honestly probably going to go home and play Fortnite with my friends as soon as I get home. Not doing nothing for the rest of the night. My girlfriend's at work, so empty house.
As you can see, Chance is a valuable member of the HHS crew. Without him, our halls would be filthy, the walls would be covered in pears, and the bathrooms would be constantly closed. The next time you see him patrolling the halls, whether he's picking up trash or replacing bags, make sure you give him your thanks.
Switching gears, we want to make sure everyone is ready for the upcoming Veterans Day ceremony. It's the first time the high school has been able to host the event in 2 years, after the pandemic forced us to honor our veterans remotely. This year, we get to honor our veterans in person and invite them to join us on Veterans Day, November 11th. Veterans should arrive at the high school by 9 a.m. sharp to be seated in the gym for a 9:30 a.m. ceremony. All veterans are invited to stay for coffee and conversation immediately following the ceremony. We look forward to the event and will have complete coverage in our next broadcast.
Now it's time to reflect on the fun festivities homecoming brought. Let's send it over to Bronc reporter Dawson Berglund, who recaps some homecoming events.
Thanks, Taryn. Hamilton High School students kicked off homecoming week by showing off their school spirit. Bronc students participated in dress-up days throughout homecoming week. One of the themes this year was Celebrity Day. Student Natalie Hawks showed off her HHS spirit by dressing up as Lady Gaga's meat dress from the 2010 VMA Awards. Here's Elijah Jackson, an HHS junior, who dressed up as Snoop Dogg. Perhaps the most popular celebrity dress-up costume was Adam Sandler, with many students sporting his infamous oversized t-shirt and shorts. Homecoming dress-up days were definitely a success and entertaining for all. Back to you.
Thanks, Dawson.
We also got to support our Bronc family at an extra special soccer game during October, where we honored our 12th grade athletes at senior night.
Bronc News reporter Fern Stewart has more.
October 4th was senior night for our boys and girls soccer teams, as well as our cross country. The night was filled with teamwork, focus, and Bronc pride. The soccer teams both played excellent games against the Stevensville varsity soccer teams. The Bronc family embraced the seniors and celebrated their accomplishments and future plans.
Play soccer, it's so fun. You have the best coach, Mrs. Fett. Continue to play it. Obviously, you can tell we have a lot of fun, and they just need to kick butt again. Like conference champs 2 times in a row. Yeah.
You heard it from Gracie Vasquez. What a fun and exciting season the teams have had.
Don't give up when you think that like everything's going downhill, and it might be going downhill. Don't give up. Like keep your head up when a goal is scored on you, and get that goal back.
Just enjoy it because it goes really fast. You only have 4 years.
A beautiful conclusion to our senior class of 2023.
As we wrap up our homecoming coverage, one of the highlights was the football game.
Students, families, and community members came together to cheer on the Broncs.
We were able to capture some of the best moments of the game.
Everyone from the community came to support the defending state champs at their homecoming game.
Number 6.
High school students lost their voices cheering loudly for the early lead. The cheer captains put their pom-poms together for the Broncs. Cheerleaders performed their halftime show with a fun dance that got the crowd rolling. Derek Saltzman and Jenna Geisinger won Homecoming King and Queen. Everyone was eager to see the King and Queen candidates. After each touchdown, the band got the crowd excited and led the football team to the win.
Stop!
We hope you've enjoyed our first edition of Bronc News. I'm Taryn Searle.
And I'm Max Nadel.
Go Broncs!
We will see you next time.